There we go. Live Thursday, the 9th of November, 6 o'clock. Joined by Matthew, one half of Matt and Sanjay, Kyle, two halves of Kyle, and Lauren, two halves of Lauren. How are we, everyone?
Hey, really good.
Doing good.
Yeah, doing good.
Would we say that Kyle has gone pink on pink on pink?
Yeah.
Oh, massively.
Pink Power Ranger.
He is all pink in tonight. Love to see that. Love to see it. So we're going to cover quite a lot. I mean, we've got 9 days into November already. God knows when that happened, but it's gone very quick already this month. And it seems positive out there at the moment. It seems like there's quite a bit going on in the market. I'm going to go to you first, Matt, because you said to me that you were absolutely flat out today. And I've seen a lot of you and Sanjay on social media. So I'm assuming it's been busy in all avenues, yeah?
Yeah, it's been good. So, yeah, we're getting consistent instructions. And today I've had quite a lot of appointments, of course, viewings, mixed between viewings and instruction appointments, doing filming and stuff like that. So it's, the last few weeks it's been showing quite busy, actually, which is really good.
Nice. That's what we want to see.
Definitely.
Lauren, how are you getting on? Obviously, good couple of weeks, over a month now of cracking on. I've seen listings, I've seen sales coming in. So it's all good in Winnersh, is it?
It's been really good. I mean, the first 6 weeks have just flown by, but it's just onwards and upwards. And I've just sold a place within 1 day of viewings. So it's been really good, better than I anticipated. So,
what's been the general feedback from buyers and sellers that you're talking to in Winnersh? How do they feel about the market at the moment?
I don't think people are as scared as what we maybe previously thought when we were having conversations, a few months back. People were still a little bit skeptical about what was happening with the interest rates and then obviously, after school break. But I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing people still motivated and still excited to move.
Yeah, it's good. I think it seems to be fairly positive out there at the moment. And I think even in the media, when we saw a few bits and bobs, they were kind of saying house prices increased as high as they have done in the last year. So I'm not saying house prices are going up, but it's nice to see that at least the portals are reporting some positive news. Kyle, you have been absolutely bonkers busy over the last couple of weeks, including the crutches over your left shoulder. So you've been doing it with
dust.
a
I don't like those, but it's it's been wild. It's an experience, but it's pretty much mirroring the other guys. To be fair, it's there's a lot of activity, a lot of movement. There's a lot of buyers very active, and what's really nice is there's a lot of fresh properties coming to the market. I think there's maybe been a number out there that have been a bit stagnant. Some have been there since last year, and have just kind of churned around a little bit. But I've now seen a lot more coming on that we haven't seen before. Oh, that's new. That's new. People are accepting it's not necessarily going to happen by Christmas, but there are one or two where actually, given their situation circumstances, they still could. So it's going to be an exciting run into Christmas. And certainly, I think a heck of a start to the new year.
Seems like at the moment, we've said it all year, you do good marketing, you price correctly, you sell.
Yeah.
That does it feel that way for you at the moment, Matt? It's kind of get the pricing right, get the marketing right. You're going to find a buyer and you're going to be able to choose a little bit within reason which buyer.
100% agree with that. I mean, I'll tell you a story. We had we actually had 2 3-beds, which I had set up a open house on one of those. And basically I had to set up 2 open houses. So I did an open house on Saturday and then an open house on Sunday for the overflow. Managed to sell it 15 grand over the asking price to a cash buyer. Got the Gazelle agreement agreed on that as well. So nice secure buyer, nice agreed on sale. And then another one where we took a property off another agent. It was on the market with them for 81 days. Didn't sell. We're getting low offers on it. We did a pre-launch on that one, and we just changed a little bit on the price from the feedback that we got from the buyers in the pre-launch. And then we sold it within that weekend, full asking price.
Powerful stories, sorry about the invading 2-year-old. He just doesn't like it when I lock the not the lock, but close the office door. It's just not big daddy's.
I understand.
Yeah, Big Daddy's girl. There we go. Lauren, your thoughts around kind of the market between now and the end of the year? Obviously, Christmas is the phrase that a lot of estate agents don't like to mention too early, but we kind of do because we love Christmas. So what's your kind of thoughts between now and the end of the year? I mean, properties are selling, buyers are out there. It sort of doesn't feel seasonal at all at the moment, does it, to worry about?
Oh, you're on mute.
Let me unmute
It's
you.
noisy in here. I think because we are open and we do talk about Christmas looming, because it's going to happen. You know, we can't avoid it. We just have to manage expectations as to the weeks upcoming as to what's going to happen. We know solicitors close down. You know, we know majority of those professional people aren't going to be contactable. You know, but we're going out to valuations, and you know, the Christmas thing, it doesn't bother people. We're not seeing a change.
No, yeah, I like it because, you know, when people are in the Christmas window, some people have got a bit more time off, closing early. They get to go and see the property. You know, people have got a bit more time on their hands to do it. I don't think it really makes a difference.
It doesn't make a difference at all. And, you know, I've just agreed a sale actually on a place in Woodley, sorry. And it's a first-time buyer in rented, and they are desperate to get in for Christmas. And with a good solicitor on board and doing things the right way, there's no reason why that can't happen.
And I think for other people to think about as well, Kyle, is this year's been a different year to a lot of others. And if we think to January, where interest rates were in January, you know, high sixes, and now we look at it and we can see high fours, low fives. If anyone says, well, is now a good time to kind of do a move, buy or sell?
Oh, absolutely.
Comparison, the answer has to be yes, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. I had an interesting story with a buyer I showed around a couple of weeks ago where they were out looking in January, put on pause to their search because also the interest rates were rising, and now they're back out looking now. And I'm getting actually quite a lot with buyers. Now they're back out looking because they're scared that the property price is going to keep going up because of the interest rates are going down. So they're trying to fight to get that property. So they think that the prices are going to soar up like they did in the past. So,
I mean, it happens. Yeah. You know, it's how it works. You know, the cycle does that. We see a little blip, and then we see prices go up. And maybe we've seen the little blip, we've seen the little drop, and maybe next year prices will go up. Maybe they'll stay the same and they'll go up the second year. Yeah. Maybe they'll drop a tiny bit. We don't know, but at some point they're going up, aren't they, Kyle?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. It almost feels like a perfect storm at the moment, the direction we're headed, though, and I feel like there's sort of little snippets of it, little signs throughout the market that, yeah, actually that could be the case. And certainly mirroring what Matt has just said, I'm seeing a number of buyers now that sat on the fence a few months ago that all of a sudden are going, actually, now's a really good time to buy. Even if we don't complete this side of Christmas, let's secure something and just know that we're going to the new year without being in that kind of rat race, as it were. It feels like a market of old. It's that kind of feeling that kind of gets us all excited.
Carl, you dealt with auctions recently and done a bit with the auction kind of side of things. So just interested to see your experience around that. How did you find kind of the whole auction process? And it seems to be something a bit more frequent and dominant and a bit more popular at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think the word auction has a stigma around it. That actually, once I'm talking to people and they understand the modern way of doing things, completely different conversation. For sellers that really do need to sell the property quickly, it's not necessarily about achieving the highest possible price, but that's still doable. But it does allow people to release equity quicker. And actually, got a couple of listings at the moment. If they come together tomorrow, the new owners will have the keys before Christmas, potentially by the end of the month. So it just opens up a whole new avenue to sellers and to buyers, because maybe some buyers don't want to kind of be in an open house environment, potentially where they're kind of feeling a lot of pressure on the day. They might want to consider the options, just be able to view the property, but then just know that they've got something secured going down that avenue, because it doesn't necessarily need to go to the close on the auction either. So there's a lot of flexibility within the process that we can take out of it and make it work for everybody, but ultimately just speed the entire process up. So there's definitely I think it's definitely a big market for it in the future, and I think we'll see it more and more.
Speed being the key word there, really. I guess, you know, someone needs to buy fast or sell fast. Auction's a great way to do it. Hammer goes down, it's exchanged, lock in a completion date. You know, you could be into an auction purchase as a buyer quicker than you could be into a rental property at the moment, because the rental market's absolutely bonkers. Lauren, in terms of like new builds and stuff like that, I know obviously that was your background. I'm sure you still speak to people. How's the new homes kind of market from conversations you have with kind of old friends and colleagues at the moment? Is that something which, you know, they are feeling a little bit more buoyant? What are they feeling going into 2024? And you'll have to unmute before you answer this time.
I know I will now. I think it's a really interesting topic because actually in the last few days I was having conversations about what's happening in the new build market, because it feels like a completely separate entity when we talk about new build, you know, in terms of how things are done and processed and just the properties itself. I've been advised that the new homes sector has really quietened down, really gone quiet. You know, I wouldn't say struggling, but I would say probably having to work a lot harder than what they used to. We know new build notoriously, it's very reactive. You know, people typically will come to you because they want specifically a new build. Whereas when we talk on resale, you have to be a little bit more proactive. You look for those right people. It's a bit conflicting between the two sides. Do I think things are going to change in 24? I don't know, is the honest answer. With new build, there's always a premium, you know, on the prices, and people were happy to pay them before. With things changing and the interest rates and the way new build is, I don't know. I don't know how things will change going into 24 for them, truthfully. I think almost like they've gone like this and not completely flatlined, but I think it's staying very stable and not very busy at all. There's always going to be a market for new build. There is always going to be a certain type of buyer who specifically wants new build time and time again and won't deviate away from that. And I think that's probably what will keep them afloat. People who know about new build and understand what they're about. But I think it's a really interesting topic because it does feel really different to what, you know, the types of conversations that we all have collectively.
Yeah, interesting. No, it's interesting. I think, yeah, interesting to hear that they plateaued a little bit throughout the year. I'm wondering on like reservation agreements, Matt. It's something that I know you and Sanjay have kind of been pushing quite a lot recently.
Yeah,
and really trying to kind of use it as a way of securing things for buyers and for sellers.
Yeah.
And for people out there that don't know how reservation agreements work in the residential sales market, do you want to just give us a little bit of a kind of an overview from your point of view how it's been working?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing it in the last few months with our sales, really, and it's been getting really good feedback from buyers and sellers. Feel it's a really good thing. So, I mean, from a seller's point of view, it's really good because you know you've got a secure buyer behind you. Where we found out with the current market, where a seller has agreed a sale with that buyer. They're committing to that buyer, but we're not getting any real, I guess, commitment from the buyer. And it's with all the price reductions happening, buyers are always keeping an eye out for that next property that they just changed their mind. So with having this Gazelle reservation agreement in place, it basically locks the buyer in with that sale where they basically can't pull out unreasonably. And basically, if they do pull out, then they would have to compensate the seller £2,000 or whatever the agreement has been agreed, really. So, yeah, it's a really good thing. I'll see it's less than a 5% chance of the sale falling through. But, yeah, it's been a really good reaction we've had on the market right now.
It's powerful.
Can I jump in really quickly as well? Because
Yeah.
When we talk about new build against what you guys are implementing now, when you buy a new build, you put down a down payment, you put a deposit down. So why would this be any different? You know, people can't really say no. It's just trying to secure something ultimately. And yeah, so that's really interesting.
Exactly. And then from a buyer's point of view, it starts them being gazumped. Like, for example, with those 2 open houses I had a couple of weeks ago, we had a lot of buyers for that, a lot of offers, and that seller is committed to that buyer. So it saves that buyer from being gazumped and losing out on the property from a higher offer.
It just makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
so much more secure for everyone. You know, you go to buy a car, you put a deposit down. You buy a new build, you put a deposit down.
Yeah.
You book a popular restaurant for more than 6 people, you put a deposit down these days. You know? It's just the way of life. But you go and about to purchase the most expensive property or financial investment ever, and we can all wait around 6 months with no one financially committed. It definitely seems like it's something that I think will be the future. And if you're using Avocado, it's the present. It's something that we've got not totally exclusively, but very much exclusive around this area, especially the areas we're talking about at the moment. So yeah, if you're a seller and you've had or a buyer and you've had situations before where a property sale has fallen through and it was emotionally damaging and painful and financially it was a hindrance, well, this is a great way to secure it. National average at the moment is about 34%. The properties will fall through, whereas with a gazelle or a legal bounding reservation agreement is about 4%, which is pretty cool. Kyle, just going back to you, any little properties that you've got on the agenda that haven't had a big promo yet, haven't had a big launch? Is there anything coming soon in the Kyle area?
Oh, there's always something coming soon, and I guess a lot of it now is just sort of down to time scale, so it's quite exciting. But yeah, we've got a real good mix, I think, of things happening. So 1 or 2 might be a week or 2 off. So it's just kind of planning out, I guess, the photo arrangements and working with the weather at the moment. I always forget we get to this time of year. I've been so used to just freely picking a day without checking the weather forecast and taking the drone out. And now it's you look a week ahead, it says it's the one sunny day, and then it comes and it's tipping it down. So kind of working around all of that stuff. But yeah, there's definitely a few things going on. There's a couple that are available at the moment. I mean, there is one I've got which is actually on auction, which is the one over in Waltham, St. Lawrence, and that one, lovely home, scope to improve it. Lauren and I were there earlier today, so I'm actually been shooting some more promotion material on that one. But I don't feel like I've done enough on that yet. There's quite a lot out there, but there's always opportunity for variety and just different ideas going off. So,
you are the content king, though. Let's be honest. However much you do, you will always think you need to do more.
Yeah, this is true.
I did give you that compliment yesterday. Everywhere I look at the moment, I just see Kyle content. Although today, I think Matt and Sanjay might have taken the win for that today. I saw a lot of their content. Although there's quite a lot going on the brand page as well today. To be fair, we were quite active on the content front. We had a few visitors in HQ today, which was great to see. So Matt, I'm going to put you on the spot. 2024 predictions. What are you thinking? What are you expecting for the Bracknell market in 2024?
I think it's going to start off with it's going to finish off for the last part of this quarter, really. It's been really busy the last sort of few months with the interest rates coming down. So it's given real confidence to the market. So I do think that we're going to start off with a good start, and then hopefully continue on with hopefully the interest rates coming down even more. So yeah, expecting a good year next year.
And Lauren, what's your thoughts for next year in Winnersh? What we're expecting?
Just literally mirror what Matt says. I think we're going to see things really start to push forward. And I think a lot of the nervousness which people had prior is probably going to disintegrate more and more. So yeah, I'm confident, really confident about what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a nice active market. I mean, one thing that we know this year, Kyle, is transactions will be down by about 25-30%. Transactions, not prices, but less people moving. But that was to be expected because of the stamp duty holiday. It forced everyone into moving earlier. So, you know, in your area that you cover, what are you thinking for 2024? What's your expectations?
Yeah, to be honest, I think fairly similar to what the guys have said there. I think we're about to see a really good, solid end to the year. And it's just going to carry through into next year. There are so many different differentiators involved that it just feels like that perfect storm scenario. I guess even just picking on the example of buyers and rented, where maybe they sat on the fence for this year. That's like 12 plus months worth of buyers renting that would have bought this year in a normal year but haven't. But actually now will be thinking, oh, actually now's the time. So it's going to make for a busy market next year. We might just see that swing in supply and demand, going to shift maybe back towards the seller's direction a bit more. Who knows?
We will see.
I think it's really interesting as well. I've had loads of conversations with people recently for the listings that I've had who are first-time buyers and rented, and they've come out of their 12-month contract already. So it kind of probably goes hand in hand with what you're saying, is that they've done their 12 months already and they're just on a month rolling. So they're just ready at any point just to jump, and they're happy to do it, maybe a slight crossover 1-2 months if they need to, because they've prepared for it and they're not tied in. So I think there'll be a lot of that coming through as well.
Yeah, no, that'd be interesting to see. So I've just managed to get hold of today's best deals, mortgage deals for everyone that's watching. So this is literally from today's rates. So if you're watching after today, don't hold us to them, but this is what's available at the point of us being live. So we've got residential mortgages at the top, and it's nice to see kind of there's something that's sub 5 in there. That 4.99 with Nationwide seems to be picking a bunch at the moment. So that's a positive. And then if you look at the buy-to-let deals, some big fees in there, but there's some cheap rates as well. And even the 90%er, that's the one that really benchmarks a lot of things, I think. The 90%er, you lock in for 5 years, 10% deposit, call it 5%, 5.06% with Virgin Money. They're getting back to what I would call normal, I would say. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely helps, especially that 90% were first-time buyers, which gets the property market going really. But yeah, first-time buyers getting a rate of around sort of that 5% or below it is great in this current market. So yeah, it's good to see.
It's been Kyle. It's been over 5 months actually since we saw a 2-year fixed this low as that 4.99, and obviously if you put in 5-year deal together, then it's 4.6. But it's been 5 months since we've actually seen that low. So you can talk about the 99p effect, but that seems like a good psychological boost for buyers out there, I would say.
Yeah, I'll say so. Massive psychological boost for everyone, buyers and sellers, and me included. My mortgage is up at the end of next year, so I'm just hoping it comes down a little bit more. But it's we're kind of just back to really what normal was. We've had that extended honeymoon period. This is the reality. I think most people have accepted this is the reality now. The kind of shock and awe of the kind of initial increases, it's gone now. It's going. People are moving. Some people have to move, and they've just been moving all the way through. But those that want to move are coming back into the picture because the time is now, really. Yeah,
and I think the comment that we've got from the broker that supplies us with these rates, I won't say who this week, just in case they get in trouble for giving us the inside scoop, but they're highlighting that now you've got Virgin Money on a 5-year fixed interest of 4.6. If we see rates continue to fall below the 4.5 over the next few weeks, should set us up for a really good end of year. And there's some small reductions with the buy-to-let rates as well, and lenders are trying to work hard on the stress test to improve affordability. So that's directly from the broker's mouth, and these are the rates directly from there as well. So good to kind of see with what's going on there. Always interesting. Those first-time buyers you talk about and those tenants, Lauren, it's interesting sort of take on it, because it's hard to rent a property at the moment. I mean, there's just nothing available. So the advice that I would give any tenant out there is to be talking to a broker and finding out, can you buy at the moment? Because dare I say, it's a tenant's market. The selling market, it's not a tenant's market if you're looking to rent, but it's a tenant's market if you're looking to buy, because no chain, little bit of opportunity out there, slower pace. It seems like that would be the route to go down for these tenants that you're talking to as well, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely that. And I think, people who of a younger age, who could only go into rented, were sadly then caught with the interest rates when they did go up this time last year. It meant almost when they were ready to go overnight, they couldn't afford it. And because of that, obviously, with things changing, it meant that the rental prices also went up. So it's like tenfold from both sides. You get really trapped in that rental cycle. But I think seeing those rates coming down, and like you say, Carl, it's a psychological thing. If you see something under a percentage where we've talked about it being 5 and 6 for so long now, people almost like, actually, yeah, maybe this is the time to do it. And the fact that they're not tied in anymore should just go hand in hand perfectly. But, you know, you're never going to know until we get there. But I think there's a lot of first-time buyers out there really ready to get moving, and probably have been for some time and just haven't been able to. And I think we can capitalise on that a little bit more as agents too.
Yeah, I think so. Matthew, any little secret listings around the corner that you and Sanjay have got on the agenda that you could not necessarily give us the address, but give us a little bit of an inside scoop on?
Yeah, so we got one that's coming on in Forest Park. Me and Sanjay did all the filming today on that.
3-bed.
It's a 3-bed.
Sure.
It was on the market with another agent beforehand, but it's got so much potential. It's massive corner plot. You can extend the driveway, do so much to the back garden as well. I've got another great potential, which does need renovating, but it's a lovely 4-bed link detached in Wooden Hill. Hasn't been on the market in 21 years. Absolutely massive garden, very popular location, Wooden Hill. That's coming on the market next week.
What sort of price is that one?
That's coming on at 525.
Okay.
But yeah,
It's big as well.
Matt.
Big bangers.
Yeah, are you finding the valuations that you're doing? Are you
Mm.
having conversations with people who have been in their place for like plus 10 years? Because I found that in the last few weeks, I've had people who have been in their houses for like 10, 13, 20 plus years and are now ready to move.
Yeah, it's real mixed, really. Regards to type of clients that we're going out to. But yeah, a few of them that we've had, they've been on the have been on the market in a long time. So it's just due to circumstances. But yeah, real mixed, really. A lot of our sort of 3-beds, sort of mid 3-beds, around sort of 375, 400. They tend to be there about 5 or 7 years, looking to upsize, really. But like the bigger homes, yeah, you probably tend to have them there a lot longer, really. So yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting stuff. Lauren, what do you have on the bubble for us that's not live on the socials? Anything bubbling over the course of November that we can sort of briefly talk about?
Briefly, probably very briefly, potential for an auction. So the first one that I'm doing, so it's not a bad start. It's going to be an apartment. Just waiting for the details to come through, but I should hear more by next week, and then I can get out there and get all the filming bits done. But that's really all the detail I have at the moment. But I'm super excited for it.
Auction time. Love that.
Auction
Love
time. I know.
Kyle, what is the next piece of crazy content that you are going to drop on us?
Oh God, there's a question. I don't know. I feel like I've done all the crazy, but I'm sure I can create more crazy. I think I'm scheduled out for the next 2 weeks. There will be something crazy coming. There'll be something within the next 7 days that's going to probably be a little bit different again.
You going to tell us?
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to work out which one it is. There's, to be fair, the bit of film we did earlier about Waltham St Lawrence.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool, actually.
Yeah, well, I need a few days to put that together. That's going to be quite different to, I guess, the normal way we present properties. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes out.
Well, me and Dan had a bit of fun in HQ. I don't know if anyone saw that video today.
We did with the jumper. Yeah, we did.
It's gone a little bit viral on Instagram, that one. So always good fun. But yeah, can 2 grown men get into a pink avocado hoodie? If you want to know, go check out the brand Instagram page and you will find out. Good job. We've both got pea heads. Let's just put it that way. So I guess a bit of an announcement, actually, because this is the last month ever of the Thursday Night Live. We've been consistent for 2 years. Every Thursday, 6 o'clock, we've been going live, 3, 4, sometimes 5 avocado partners. But time to level up. Will we still be answering questions on webinars? Will we still be talking about the property market? Absolutely, we will. But we will not be doing it via StreamYard Live. Secret details will be unfolded each week throughout November as we gear up to what's going to be a very exciting 2024 new style of doing this type of Q&A. with some extra value as well for people that are thinking of moving in the kind of 3 to 9 month window. So yeah, just highlighting that we've only got a few more of these live ones left, and then we'll be moving it into, I guess, more of an exclusive webinar where people can feel comfortable and open to ask questions. And we'll be putting a bit more time into it as well. They'll be increasing to a full hour, and I'm excited for them. Each time we're going to be joined by a broker. We're going to be joined by a conveyancer, a surveyor. So we'll be offering a lot of value, not just on estate agency chat, but also in the mortgage world, the solicitor world, and the surveying world. So yeah, looking forward to that. Something we all kind of designed on Tuesday, didn't we, gang? So, you know, it's going to be good fun.
We did.
Very good.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, very good.
That takes us to 30 minutes. Lauren, thank you for joining us. We can confirm she's in Costa. They are beans.
I am. They are, yeah. They're not steaks, as the guys pointed out before we went on. But yes, I'm in Costa.
Yeah. Let Costa know that their wall art looks like steaks.
I might go and tell them.
Yes, do that. Matt, thank you for blurring your background. We don't know what's behind you, but it's blurred. We'll never know. It's always good to find out about Bracknell. And keeping it pink, Kyle, keeping the crutches on point. 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of pink right there, all in that small box that you sit in. So thank you for your pinkness, Kyle.
No worries. Well, it's getting darker outside. They just want to bring a bit of sort of summery, bright coloured joy.
I joined you actually with a little bit of pink lighting today. Sometimes I'm mixing the colours up these days, but I went pink in the background. Got a bit of blue there. Look, there we go. But I'll stay with Carl on the pink for the rest of this. So thanks everyone that joined us. If you are watching and we're no longer live, still put a comment in, ask us a question. We will see it. We will respond. And we will be back next week, but we will not be back next month. Have a good rest of the week, everyone.